Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to The Smoke. My name is John. This is where we offer practical tools, techniques, information, and knowledge in order for you to live your best life. We try to focus around first responders. I am a firefighter myself, the EMS, police, anybody. But ultimately, we want everybody to live their best life. So this knowledge is for anyone. Today's episode is pretty eye-opening, for me especially. I deal with lots of different people from day to day in my personal life and in my professional life. And a lot of these people are dealing with different ailments, whether it's arthritis, back pain, hypertension. My wife specifically has a immunity disorder for her skin that she's been trying to solve for quite some time now. So the reason I'm sharing this episode and I'm making it today is because the information that I've come into of late is extremely, extremely profound and could be life-changing for you or for those you love. You don't have to be a first responder to listen to this information today, okay? I want to shout out Mr. Joe Rogan once again, and then again, Mr. Gary Brecka. If you can, please check out his podcast. The guest is Gary Brecka, and he's a human biologist, okay? He is looking into what's best for humans, how we live best, and our human potential. Something I've mentioned before is extremely important to me and something I'm really passionate about. Unfortunately, the healthcare system in our country is not really designed for your well-being. It's designed to keep you sick and to profit off of you. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. There's so many cases and examples of this. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach, to be honest with you. But either way, so here's the information for today. Please check this out. If you know anybody who deals with any kind of autoimmune deficiency, hypertension, low back pain, anything that they can't really attest to why they have this, what's going on with their life, why they're suffering from these things, okay? So the number one thing that I want to express to you guys today, you'll learn if you can watch the podcast. I really implore you to watch the podcast with Mr. Joe Rogan and Gary Brecka, because I'm going to try and lay out kind of the overarching idea of what he was sharing with Mr. Rogan and how it could benefit you or the ones you love, okay? So if you live in the United States and you eat a pretty standard diet that consists of things like, bread and rice and pasta and things like that, unfortunately for about 50% of the population, they don't have the necessary processes within the human body to go ahead and convert this nutrient, or what's been labeled as a nutrient that we've come to find out is not at all a nutrient, it's man-made. But this thing called folic acid. Now, if you look at the back of your bread, or you look on the back of your pasta or your rice or anything that comes from a grain in the United States, it's going to say folic acid. The problem with folic acid is that it is man-made and it's not a necessary nutrient. There is a necessary nutrient, though, that's very closely related to that the human body does need, and it is called methylfolate. So for 50% of the population of the world, they can go ahead and eat folic acid, and inside of their body, it will be processed into this thing called methylfolate. And methylfolate is extremely important because what methylfolate does is it eradicates this thing called homocysteine in the blood. And when you have homocysteine in the blood, you have it in your blood, I have it in my blood, everybody has it in blood. But when you have elevated levels of homocysteine in the blood, because you're not eradicating it via methylfolate, because you can't, because your body doesn't process it, this buildup of the homocysteine in the blood just drives the body haywire. Autoimmune disease, back pain, chest pain, heart condition, ADHD, and you name it, anything, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, all of these different processes are being denied walk that back. You're experiencing these things, or your loved ones are experiencing these things, 50% of the population, strictly because they are intaking folic acid and they cannot convert it into methylfolate, which is the necessary nutrient in your body that you need to go ahead and release this homocysteine, which will eventually cause all of your body processes to start shutting down and messing up. So what happens to most people is they go ahead and they start getting arthritis, which is due to this buildup of homocysteine. They go over to the doctor. The doctor says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. You have rheumatoid arthritis. Start taking Humira. This is a corticosteroid. Let's have this corticosteroid. Let's have you on this regimen for a while." And all the while, The doctor, maybe he doesn't even know, just a product of the system, but all the while the corticosteroid is breaking down Joe's joints, and then in 6 years Joe needs a knee replacement. All the while they've been profiting on Joe, off of Joe all the while. Okay, so folic acid is very, very bad for 50% of us. I mean, it's a very unfortunate thing, but I'm so happy I've come into this information, because if you or your loved one has some kind of ailment that they've been just dealing with for the longest time and they don't know why and they can't seem to get on top of it, this is something you can really look into, okay? I really implore you to look into this idea of deficiency when it comes to ingesting folic acid and not being able to convert it into folate. This may cause you to live a tremendously greater quality of life. Please don't take the information from me. Please go to the Joe Rogan podcast and watch the episode with Mr. Gary Brecka. Okay, again, he's a human biologist. He's dropping vital knowledge for all the beings on this planet so you can live your best life, okay? We don't want to be sick. We want to be happy and healthy and enjoy and experience joy and experience. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? So if it's your mom, if it's your brother, if it's your grandmother, if it's your own kids, there's genetic testing you can do. You can also supplement for the methylfolate that you do need, right? So if you supplement in a right way for a deficiency, then, you'll be amazed to see what your body can do, okay? I'm going to do this with some people I know. I'm going to suggest this to them because I would love for them to not have to deal with these ailments anymore. The longer, that you're dealing with this, the higher the buildup of these homocysteines in your blood, and then, the worse the outcome for you. So we want to make sure that you're living your best life. So this is really vital knowledge. This is if you live in America and you're eating breads and you're eating rices and pastas and any kind of grains, okay, the U.S. government is mandated to spray these grains with folic acid. So you cannot deny them, okay? The only way you can get around it in this country, if you want to buy American-made products that are American grains, is you have to buy organic, okay? Otherwise, you have to get your stuff from abroad. You have to get your pasta from Italy or from a different country. You have to get your breads from different countries. Be careful when you're making what you're making with your flours, okay? Find out if you have this conversion deficiency with the folic acid, okay? Talk to a doctor if you have to. I mean, one that you trust, obviously, not one that's just, a part of the system, okay? So hopefully this will employ you to really look into this. If you have the back pain, if you have the skin disorder, if you have the headaches, the migraines, if you have any of this stuff and you feel like you shouldn't have it and you don't know why, and you're 28, you're 35, and you feel like you're 70, you need to check this out, okay? Watch the podcast. I'll link it down in the comments, okay, in the description. Again, this is The Smoke. We're bringing you this information because we want you to be well, the best version of yourself. Enjoy this life. Have the experience. Make it good. Don't hate it. It's not something you're supposed to hate. You're not supposed to resent being alive, okay? Live your best life. Move your body. I love you. Check out Joe Rogan, Gary Brecka. Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor and the people around you who are suffering. Help them. That's what you're here for. I love you all. I hope you guys have a good day. Until I have something to share with you next time. See ya.